Hello, my name's Lindy Cowling and welcome to my channel. For those of you that aren't familiar with my work, that haven't seen any videos or heard any of the media broadcasts, including radio, that I've done before, my website is www.lindycowling.co.uk. And today I would like to entitle this video Dark Night of the Soul. Dark Night of the Soul. As part and parcel of our spiritual development, as part and parcel of our soul growth, millions of us go through, as part of our evolution, quite a painful part of that process, which is known as the dark night of the soul. Now you'll notice that my spelling of it is different. Dark night of the soul is usually N-I-G-H-T and I've got it K-N-I-G-H-T, and I'll explain why in a minute. But basically, as part of our evolution, millions of us go through when huge change happens within us, and when a lot of the old stuff is falling away and a lot of stuff is affecting the pain body and our emotional body and our mental state, we go through a process called the dark night of the soul, or what's been called the dark night of the soul. So let me deal with the N-I-G-H-T version of it first. That version of dark night of the soul is being plunged into a state of despair, being plunged into a state of feeling very down, very low, perhaps very depressed, perhaps really struggling to accept life changes. And as part of our spiritual evolution and as part of the times that we're living in at the moment, life changes are happening very rapidly to millions of people on this planet. Millions are coming out of relationships, partnerships, marriages, jobs. They're moving area, they're moving country. They're having to become very self-aware very quickly. And when one becomes self-aware, that often leads to questioning, relationships that you're in or jobs that you're in, because basically anything that wasn't working particularly well, but that you were kind of ignoring or hoping would settle down or hoping would go away, if it's still sort of banging on the inside of your skull like someone banging a drum, or all the time you've got to change something or you've got to do something, in the energy we're in at the moment, that's become louder than ever. And people can be propelled into a state of quite prolific suffering, where they are caught for long periods of time, weeks, months, even longer than that, in these cycles where they are. It's not just that they're resistant to change. That isn't fair. I think all of us actually resist and kick and scream a bit about some changes, especially when they're very uncomfortable. But also dark night brings up health issues and stuff like that, and there's no stone left unturned. And once you go through this process, you can alleviate it, not always bypass it. I feel that happens to millions of people, and I think as is part of spiritual evolution, to go into these moments or part of this process. But you can alleviate it in a way by not struggling against it and accepting, okay, this isn't forever, this is not going to go on forever, it's part and parcel of what I'm going through at the moment. And there are varying factors to do with that. And I should say straight away on camera, I'm not an advocate for anyone struggling on alone. If people are feeling overwhelmed with grief, loss or depression or whatever, don't struggle on. thinking you've got to cope with it all on your own. You know, everybody needs somebody, and find someone to talk to, or find a health professional, or find a complementary therapist, or find whoever you are drawn to help you at that time. But know that you're not stuck like it. You're not going to be stuck like it. You know, that time will pass. You will move through that process. You will be changed when you come out the other side of it, but kind of that was the whole point of it. It would have changed you, and actually it has the potential to purge a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of stuff can come up through your system, a lot of stuff can come up from the pain body, the emotional body, the mental body, and you can clear a lot of stuff, and a lot of healing can happen. Huge healing can happen as a result of Dark Night of the Soul, you know, because you can get help for things that you had been suppressing for years, physically, mentally, emotionally. That in effect, you know, can be a catalyst experience, Dark Night of the Soul, with the NIGHT side of it. But also, like I say, to speed it up is attitude of mind is a lot. Although you can say to me, well, I'm so low in my mind, you know, I haven't even got an attitude of mind at the moment, except you know, everything's just very flat. That's why I say don't beat yourself up here. When you're at a stage like that, and if you're on overwhelm, please do get some help, whatever form of help you're drawn to, you know, whether that's healing, counselling, seeing you know, a complementary practitioner, seeing a conventional practitioner. Go with what you're drawn to at the time. Don't feel you've got to struggle on your own, because these can take, you know, things are speeding up, but sometimes people can be in these dark night processes for quite some time, but they're not going to be stuck there forever. No one's stuck there forever. Believe me, at the time you may think, oh, I'm going to be stuck like this forever, but you won't be. But do get assistance. Do not try and struggle through it on your own. But one thing that can help is almost like it's like falling into quicksand, and then you going, oh, I don't like being in the quicksand, and then you're making it worse. You're sinking because you're struggling. Almost, I know it's the last thing you'll feel like doing, but almost try and relax into it. So, okay, this is what's happening at the moment. This is how I'm feeling at the moment. Okay, let's see what's coming up for me. Can I do anything about that? Can I talk to somebody about this? Do I feel strong enough in myself to change what needs to be changed, or can I not change it at the moment? It's just too overwhelming in my emotions, you know. I can't personally comment. I can only comment on that side of it. I can't advise you because I'm not qualified to do so, and I don't have the experience of, you know, natural products that might help the process. I mean, in terms of natural herbs or natural medications or whatever, because I wouldn't be able to comment on that. I don't know. But go wherever you're drawn to help you through a stage. You keep reminding yourself it's a stage and you're not stuck there. Because what prolongs the suffering in this situation is people in the belief that they'll be stuck like that forever. And we've all been there when you think, oh, I'm never going to be happy again. I will never experience happiness again. And I can promise you, you will. And actually, a greater sense of happiness perhaps than you've ever experienced in your life once you come through all of that part of your journey. But there's also another dark night, KNIGHT, of the soul, where you can draw a person, or even more than one person, into your life as a prolific form of catalyst that's on the more challenging, darker element of energy, and that kind of catalyst can propel you into some very deep, dark places within. So this would be a person that come into your life with personality characteristics that might be very challenging, or energy that's very challenging, behavior that's very challenging. You know, I've spoken about these things in different ways before. Psychopathic tendencies, sociopathic tendencies, narcissistic tendencies, all of the above, some of the above, borderline personality disorder, mental health issues. You can get people that you draw in, and you may be head over heels in love with these people in personality, or you may have connected with them even higher than that, so a spiritual connection with somebody that's templated with that behavior or that within them, a soul connection with somebody like that, and when you connect on that level, you know, that's even more challenging. It's kind of designed to be, it's designed to bring up, and really, I always word it like this, it's like scouring out the bottom of the sediment of the tank, you know, really some heavy duty stuff. I truly feel when I've experienced something like that, where sometimes it has to be to them depths and the dark places you don't want to go, and kind of the shadow of it, to scour out and really get to the bottom of stuff that had been suppressed, not just in this lifetime, but maybe in all your timelines, you know, the whole history of the soul. Again, if you have been involved with a character like this, a soul connection like this, a spiritual connection like this, or a person like this, you know, it doesn't have to be a spiritual or soul connection. Spiritual and soul connection is even huger, the impact it has on a very deep level. But whatever level, you know, if you've been involved with someone like that and you're on overwhelm, you can be left with things like post-traumatic stress disorder. You may need counselling, you may need some therapy. Don't beat yourself up for it again. The mental health and the emotional body can take a real pasting from an experience like that. Again, don't struggle on alone, get assistance. Sometimes just talking about it helps. I can't believe how many hundreds of people across the world have said to me just talking about certain things like this on camera has just, you know, helped them heal enormously, because it's given them validation for the experience they had and recognition. They felt they were unheard. They felt they were particularly unheard by the so-called spiritual light worker community, that they were being judged and that they couldn't speak out, no one was speaking about it. So that in itself is healing, talking about it. Not talking about it and fixating and obsessing on it, but just getting it out there and saying, yeah, these experiences happen, and they don't happen because you're a donut and you were an idiot and you made the wrong move and you should have known better. They happen because stuff needed purging, it needed to be brought to your attention, you needed to heal from those characteristics in this time or in previous lives, previous timelines. You may have been born into a family, a bloodline like that needed healing, or you needed healing and the only way to see it was to have that right in your face again. Please don't punish yourselves. There's so much punishing of yourselves with this, and part of that is the brainwashing by one of those dark night connections, especially if it's narcissistic, sociopathic or psychopath tendencies, where you're brainwashed to believe that you did something wrong, or you know, there's a techniques they use called gaslighting to confuse you even more. So I always take a positive spin on everything. Pat yourself on the back for the immense evolution of your soul and spirit, that you chose the deepest, heavy duty, kind of darkest in a way, form of healing, to have danced around with a shadowy partner like that. Get the assistance where you need it. Don't punish yourself. Everything is an opportunity for healing. Everything, and these experiences, as painful as they are, is always a huge opportunity for personal growth, self-worth, self-realization, and always, you know, come back to the state of who you truly are outside of all that. It will take a while because you're shell-shocked from an experience like that. Sometimes your personality can feel shattered. Also, if you've connected on the level a dark night, K-N-I-G-H-T level, where you've connected at spirit level and soul level with a person like that, a partner like that, even it's like what I call a spiritual grenade going off through the system, cause an immense amount of shock to the system. Can feel very damaging, but you can heal from this. It takes time, but you can heal from this, and sometimes just talking about it, getting validation for it. But like I say, don't feel when you're on overwhelm that you have to struggle for it on your own. Nobody has to struggle for it on their own. And an important message I want to say, which I do still see in a lot of people worldwide, and have had an experience like this, they do feel like they're never going to be happy again. They're never going to find joy again. They're never going to know who they are, and they're going to be stuck in a perpetual cycle of suffering. No, that doesn't have to be that way. It takes a little time, but there are lots of people out there that can help you and can assist you, and you not only will heal from that experience, but you will come out of that, I'm not going to say stronger than you were in a negative way. You won't be stronger and more bitter. You will come out of that more empowered and self-loving. Should you choose, you know, you can go this way or you can go this way over it. This is home. This is the way home. You know, you can come out that more empowered and more compassionate and more loving than you've ever been in your entire life, and use that experience as a stepping stone and as a healing experience. I know when you've just come out the other side or you're still in it, it does not feel healing at the time, but I'm talking once you've come through the other side of that. And I hope this video helps you. That's really all I have to say on that. Like I say, if you need to get in contact with me, contact me via email, and I don't have anything until May. We would be looking at appointments for May or June now. Anyway, enough from me. I will love you and leave you, and until we meet again, take care. Bye bye.